N.N.U.U.N.N.N.
aka the new Nevada Union United Nations Nationwide News Network.
I'm Abby.
And I'm Jack.
And we're here to talk to you about
drugs! Breaking news, drugs.
Drugs have affected our world on a global scale.
That's true. And today, on today's news network, we're going to cover what is substance abuse and how has it affected the world. What would happen if we just let it run rampant? What if we did nothing? What we can do to help solve it and what's being done. And then we have our interview from our resident drug expert.
Now, let's head on over to Sadie, who's going to explain the history of drugs.
Hey, to you, Sadie.
Thank you, Jack and Abby. I'm going to start by explaining when substance abuse became an issue on a global scale. So, the turning point in the great concern for drug abuse was around 1914, around the time of the First World War. However, the human taste for addictive substances has been recorded since the earliest times of human existence. The refining of more potent compounds and quicker forms of administration have led to the dramatic abuse seen today. This topic is important because substances are and have been used for medical, recreational, and religious use throughout time. The issue is that substance abuse is growing rapidly around the world and causing great destruction. Addiction is a big issue currently because substances have become widely available and can easily make the human body dependent on something very harmful and often deadly. Many scientists have concluded that there are many reasons for addiction, including culture, beliefs, psychology, cognition, and many other factors. This is why we must continue to research and work to find solutions and different approaches to this wide-scale issue affecting the world. Thank you. Back to Jack and Abby.
Hey, you real one,
Thank you,
Sadie.
Sadie.
You're a real one.
Thank you.
She's a real one.
Yeah.
Now we're going to learn about what happens if we just let substance abuse run rampant. What would happen?
Let's hand it over to Shortbread. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Jack. Now, what would happen if we did not stop the use of drugs? Let me tell you. First off, crime rate will continue to skyrocket. Secondly, younger and younger generations will continue to become addicted to drugs. Pollution. It can be caused by drug abuse. Cigarettes on the ground, the smoke into our air, plastic from vapes. Finally, drugs are terrible. Terrible for us, terrible for the environment, and if we don't stop, things can get really bad. Anyway, thank you, Abby. Thank you, Jack. Back to you guys.
Wow.
That's not good.
Wow.
We don't want that.
That's heavy
But
on my
what would
heart.
happen if we could fix it? What is our plan of action?
You know who would know that? You know who would know that?
Who?
You know?
Who?
I think Campbell. Right over there. Let's throw it to her. Campbell!
Drugs. What? How do we stop drugs from winning this game? There are two main ways to stop drug use all over the globe, and one of them is prevention, which we must realize has to address to all stages of life, from infancy to adulthood. One of these ways is through schools, not in the way that you think. Schools play a powerful role in prevention, as teachers and administrators often are the first to detect warning signs of possible drug problems, as they see the parents' children almost more often than they do. If we add caring connection through examples such as this, it can prevent further drug usage. 2. Reaching youths outside of school and reaching high-risk groups. While it's impossible to predict with certainty who will develop alcohol and other drug problems, we cannot use past statistics to gather an idea of who is at greater risk than others for developing drug usage issues. Number 2, treatment. Substance abuse treatment is the most cost-effective way to reduce addiction, improve health of drug abusers. Addiction to alcohol and other drugs is similar to other chronic illnesses such as diabetes and hypertension. Length of time in treatment, intensity of treatment, and aftercare are key factors to helping addicts stay clean. And that's how you win the game.
Man, did you watch the Heat game last night? Dude, that was absolutely wild, man. I gotta taste it. Campbell, welcome back.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. We're gonna
Thank
send it over
you.
to our interviewer, and our interviewee with our resident drug expert.
Take it over, John!
Thank you, Jack and Abby. I'm John. I'm different because I have a bow tie, and I just got off the phone with our resident drug expert, Phil Cosenza. He's a 38-year-old recovering drug addict of 4 years clean and sober. And luckily, I got to ask him some questions about drug and substance use. I asked him if he thinks addiction affects any specific groups more than others, to which he said, "In my experience, addiction does not discriminate. Anyone can suffer from addiction. That being said, I think the obvious answer is that substance abuse and addiction affect the poor and poverty-stricken of our society the most." Then I wanted to ask him about the rehab and prison system and if he considered it effective. The answer is flat no. I've been to prison twice, the first time 2 years, second time almost 4. And while I didn't really abuse substances during those periods, I still had really bad addictive behavior. It was just a long big boy timeout. Rehabs are definitely better than prison, but you only get what you put into those places. Look at the current success rate of rehab facilities across the country. And that's exactly what I did. According to the American Addiction Center organization, over 75% of drug users relapse after their first year of rehab. And I asked him if he thinks addiction is being handled as well as it should be. I think addiction and mental health services are definitely lacking. My brother passed away a few years ago because he couldn't get the help he needed. I think the best thing that could happen to help the system would be to improve outreach and accessibility, and also to offer some type of vocational training and community reentry programs. The solution to addiction is connection. People that are struggling don't need to be segregated or isolated. They need to be supported and embraced. And finally, I asked him for his closing remarks. My experiences with addiction were just that, experiences. Without those trials and struggles, I wouldn't have grown into the person I am today. I have no regrets and have paid all my debts. I am proud of the person I am today, but I always try to stay humble. Progress every day, not perfection. I truly enjoyed my talk with Phil. He's a really outgoing and nice guy, and I really hope he stays on the path that he's going on. And I hope that with his advice and many others, we can get those help who need it in the right way. Back to you guys.
Well, that's it for today's
That's all.
on N.N.U.U.N.N.N.N.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in today.
And remember, don't do drugs.
Don't.
Stay in school.
Stay.
Be kind.
Be.
Be respectful.
Be.
Be responsible.
Be.
Be fun.
Be.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do.
#Nike.